Hey Charles, how are you doing?
Oh, doing fantastic. Back on the Lee Gersman show.
Yep,
This is what we're calling it this episode. And
yep. And
what's his
we're
proper name,
calling
by
it.
the way?
We'll call it today the episode with Lee and really cool Charles.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, because
This
right
is
now my
yeah.
camera is working good, so the people on YouTube won't see me all fuzzy for once.
That's good. That's a good thing.
Right
And
on.
this is a Lee album pick.
Yeah.
So you can announce to the world what we're doing.
All right. It's a group called Moby Grape, and the album is called Wow. And for those of you who might be a little confused, their second album was actually 2 albums. It wasn't meant to be like a second and third album. It was meant to be like their second album was 2 different albums. And their second album was called Grape Jam. And that album was done after they did the sessions for Wow, and then a lot of the members decide, hey, let's just go in the studio and do like a cool jam session. Let's get totally drunk and weird and just out there and crazy. And so they did that. And one of the members, Peter Lewis, finally got so pissed off that he wasn't on some of the songs, because he was like, I know you've been drinking and acting weird, and I'm doing the same thing, but you're acting a little too weird. And it might have also been during the time when one of the members had decided that one of the other members was demonic, so he went over to his hotel room to take care of it, but he had an axe in his hand. So hello? Yeah. Hello?
Yes.
Yeah. All right. So
Hello?
Yeah, hello, yeah.
I'm thinking it's that bass player guy, right?
I
was thinking that somebody was a demon.
It was a guitar player, but they had several. Well, no, the bass player thought that too, but he didn't.
Yeah.
He didn't.
He ended up homeless, right?
Yes, but he didn't do anything about it. He just talked about. The other guy decided the same thing and was going to take care of it, or whatever that meant. But he went to that guy's hotel room with an axe. So when they saw that they had to kind of take the axe away from him and kind of put him away a little bit. And then so Peter Lewis wasn't the guy they accused it of. It was the drummer Don Stevenson, but he thought, well, this is a little too nutty. I guess I'd better get out of here before they start accusing me of stuff. But then he came back later, and the guy who had the axe while he was away for a while, contained, he did music for what was to be his solo album. And so, but the other guy, the bass player, he, even though he was homeless and was nutty, and kind of still is, he still did great music. He did an album where he used the members of Buddy Holly's original Crickets, and guitar players that worked with Elvis, and he could still sing great. And he did the best solo work out of all of them, even though mentally in interviews he kind of sounds like he has to restrain himself from getting up and clucking like a chicken, and he's just barely able to stop himself from doing that. But he really wants to. But but still he answers the question. He's like, yeah, I'm doing music, yet I am doing stuff, kind of like that. So he's a little bit out there, but.
Well, I did read.
But he's
apparently he flipped out, joined the Marines. That's how they found out he was apparently schizophrenic.
Oh, all right, yeah.
So he was actually given
a
diagnosis more than just nutty.
Yeah.
And when he was homeless, I don't know which guy, but they got this group together again.
Yeah.
Some shit. Found him basically to help this guy out.
Yeah.
Which is nice of the Grapesters. I gotta say, that's a feel-good story.
Yeah.
Now, these guys were out of San Francisco, right? Probably out of Haight-Ashbury.
Yeah.
Some had a connection with the Grateful Dead, I read, and Jefferson Airplane.
Yeah.
So I think they might have taken copious amounts of LSD and other psychedelics.
They did. They did very much. And one of the guys in the group who continues to use intoxicants was the guy who was the most stable of the band. In his interviews, he sounds like he's totally high and happy about it, but he also doesn't sound nutty. He actually has maintained throughout his career, and his music now is too commercial for my taste, but he does collaborate with Terry Haggerty of the Sons of Champlin, and
another San Francisco group, right?
Yeah, and one of the other guys, the guy who left the band for a while because he didn't like the nuttiness, I've seen interviews with him where it looks like he's trying to crouch under some imaginative table and kind of almost whisper his answers like I don't know what his deal is, but he must be a little bit off. But yeah, anyway, that's all of the members are still alive except for the guy who did the axe thing. And but he died not too long ago.
Maybe he inspired Be Careful with That Axe.
Maybe.
Never know.
Maybe so. Know. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, all right. I knew nothing about the Grapesters. So I knew nothing. I appreciate the history lesson. I love the axe stories.
Yeah.
And and also the copious amount of LSD and probably mushrooms and everything else.
Yep.
Licking coke butts and whatever get you stoned.
Yep.
Moby Grape probably tried. So let's get into this. Technically, I mean, this is basically the second LP is called Grape Jam.
Well,
if I'm not mistaken, or it should be.
Well,
something.
Well, it's both. Are their second album. This is both of their second albums. Yeah. That must be kind of an acid way of thinking. What do you want your second album to be? We want it to be 2 albums. So you want your second and third album. No, we want our second album and our second album. Kind of like that.
Yeah.
So however it was, it was weird. And anyway,
I'm totally shocked.
All right.
With all the drugs and everything, and I hate Haight-Ashbury, folks, not a hate man. I'm not too surprised, and I knew nothing. Again, I knew nothing about him, so let's get into it.
Okay.
See what I thought of this.
All right.
Stuff here.
Who wants to start?
I'll go.
Okay. The first song from the album called Wow, because I will differentiate between them when we get to the other. The first song is The Place and the Time. What do you think of that?
One thing is for sure, this one doesn't waste any time, man. It doesn't muck around at all. Like, it gets right into it.
Yeah.
And you know what? That's the best way to cure a hangover, by the way. Get your ass back in the pub and take it on like a man.
Yeah.
Start drinking again. Don't dwell on it. Just drink. And that's what this song does. But for some reason, I gotta pick on something here. You get unnecessary trumpet in the song. I think it was the producer's choice.
Huh.
And it was an odd choice, and I found it a bit distracting.
Yeah.
And for some reason, we also get a little freak out thing going on in the center, like hello, Beatles alert.
Yeah.
That's one of my knocks on the Wow album overall. And man, they were really trying to out Sgt. Pepper or out White Album at times. I think that was going on, but hey, a nod to the Beatles there. But this song seems to lack any kind of concerted effort. It's all over the place, and it suffers because of it. Unnecessary sound effects, just a mess of a song, really. So I'm hopefully the business picks up a little bit after this opener. I'm hoping so.
Oh, okay. Yeah. And other listeners thought that too. Anyway, I put this is not a typical song by them, but I have to say it does give a hint to the loony stuff coming up later. And I do dig this song. The quirkiness of it is something that has me listening to it on occasion. It's meant to be oddball, but that's cool to me. Okay, now the next song, Murder in My Heart for the Judge. Okay, this is the tune that when people hear it, they go, well, at least this song is on the album. For them, it's the sigh of relief, and it is a hit. And yes, it is one great tune, and I like it a lot. But I like others also. Some people would say that this song is more like their first album, and I don't agree. This song fits on this album quite well, and I like the sound of it better than a lot of the songs from the first album. What do you think?
Well, like I said about the opener, I was kind of like, oh shit, and we hit Murder in My Heart for the Judge, and just like that, now we're talking.
Yeah.
This is way, way more like it over that opener. This one rocks out quite a bit and actually sounds like a song, which is very important.
Yeah.
The opener, it's all over the place.
Yeah.
This one's not. Locked in, tight-ass rock song. This is apparently about a traffic ticket. The judge going off on probably the axe guy. I don't know.
Actually, it was written by the guy who was the target of it.
Oh, well, we didn't get a little bass singing in the chorus on the Oak Ridge Boys. So hell yeah, we don't get enough of that in rock songs. Very cool jam song here, man. I like this one, Murder in My Heart for the Judge. And if the first album's like that, then I might like that first album quite a bit. And by the way, this stuff is not on at least Apple Music, folks. I don't know about Spotify. Maybe, but it's not on Apple Music. So good luck finding it.
Some of their other albums are, but weirdly enough, this and their first album are not. But I know how to get those for you.
All right. Bitter Wind.
All right. All right. What do you think of Bitter Wind?
I'm gonna be in trouble, I think, on this one here because. Well, let's do the positives first. Musically, this does for me quite a bit, and it does great, but it loses it in the chorus for me. It's the flow of it. It's very forced, and it doesn't work out at all for me. It's like we're trying to be the Who here in the chorus when we had our own thing going on in the verses. And our singer here isn't Roger Daltrey, even though it seems like he wants to be. The mellow type, just in this song, by the way, the mellow type thing towards the end is pretty bad too. So we're left with a good idea, that ran its course in the verse. And I do believe I'm very alone in this opinion, because I've seen a lot of credit on this one as the best on the record out there in writing. I'm not one of those, I suppose. But I mean, what do I know?
Oh,
Go ahead.
wow. I didn't know that everybody else liked it too. But this album did sell a lot, and I think it was because of the fact that it was a double album for the price of one. But then later, when people stopped buying their albums, it probably was because they were tired of hearing what was on this. But for me, this is great. I love the song even before the weirdness comes in. But the weirdness definitely doesn't detract from my liking of it. This is more like stuff from their first album, except the producer would have told them not to do the weirdness, because the first album was about them being on their best behavior musically, even though they were total druggies. But this time they had more of a say to let the weirdness come through, which I think works. And this is a highlight of the album for me. Okay, now for...
See, before you go to the next one, see, I'm a simpleton. You and like 90 gazillion people, well, man, that's too many people, no respect. I'd say critics and you agree.
Yeah.
See, Robert Christgau, my ass, Lee Gerson.
Yeah, right on. Now for Can't Be So Bad. And by the way, that last song was written by that homeless guy. And anyway, and it's weird because some of the stuff that he ordinarily would write was actually written by the Axe guy, and vice versa. But anyway, this next song, Can't Be So Bad. Okay, now this is very much like stuff from their first album. The stuff I like from the first album, except they wouldn't have been able to get away with the marching band part, which I think is awesome and gives the song surprising twists. It's songs like this that make this my favorite Moby Grape album. What do you think?
Well, I mean, so far, I don't know why, but this seems like in every other track type album to me, is we're back in the groove again. And this smokes pretty hard. So the first album's like this, fuck yes. I'm not sure, though, about the little medieval sounding horns at times. But at its core, this is just some blues rock that cooks on about 3/4 heat. Not 100% heat, but pretty good. Which gets it done. I've heard better rock than this, but from what the Grape Boys can pull off, this seems as great as it gets. So I enjoyed this. I just wouldn't have had that weird horn section.
Huh. Okay. What do you think of...
I don't hate horns, by the way. It's just, I don't know. It didn't really match the tune, but
I liked it because it didn't match. Because if I play for someone and they hear that and they start frowning, I can go, ha 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 ha. Anyway, yeah.
All right.
What do you think of the next song, Just Like Gene Autry Foxtrot?
Well, I see someone had to have been a Beatles fan, a la Moby Grape. This is a page out of the Book of Honey Pie here. It's kind of pretentious and of its moment here. But I'm a sucker for this type of sound, Lee, so it works for me. And on the original LP, I read, it was you had to put your thing at 78 RPMs.
Yeah. Which is kind of odd, too. Hello?
Yes.
Oh.
So you had to put your RPMs at 78, which I thought was really cool.
Yeah.
And, I'm not sure why it's on the record, but I like the song and the style. But I can see why others wouldn't, because not everybody likes this type of thing. I do like me some old school ragtime type sounds, and it's my cup of tea, even if it isn't everyone else's. So I'm gonna give Just Like Gene Autry a positive rating.
All right, I understand the cleverness of this song and how it needs to be here because of its tongue-in-cheek way, and yes, I do like it. but it's not my very favorite, even though this type of song is great. But even though I do like it, I only give it a 9 and not a 10, because some of the other songs are even better. Okay, so now the next song, He. And this was written by the guy who left the group for a while, because he was annoyed at the weirdness going on.
Peter Lewis?
Yes. Anyway,
Yeah.
this is a great song. It's a little bit oddball, but not by much, but just enough to fit. And I dig it quite a bit. What do you think?
For some reason, you mentioned the group earlier, and one of the main components was Bill Champlin.
Yeah.
I can hear Bill Champlin cover this and do a great job on it.
Wow.
Maybe it's just me.
Yeah.
I think it's the backing vocals in the chorus. I could hear Bill Champlin, even though he wasn't on the track.
Yeah.
Very mellow and chilled out here. I enjoy the orchestration on this mellow song, very sweeping at points, and this is one of the better songs thus far. Very imaginative playing in parts, a great mellow song here, and I'm a sucker for mellow when it's good.
Cool. Yeah. I already told you what So what do you think of Motorcycle Irene?
I'm getting another Beatle alert here, probably in the piano work. I wouldn't say it's a straight riff-off. I mean, the Stones were riffing off the Beatles in this era, too. So I get vibes from that era of the Stones in this song as well. Probably the song She Loves You.
Mm-hmm.
Or not She Loves You, We Love You.
Mm-hmm.
With Lennon McCartney on it, especially at the end. So it's a triple watered-down version of the Beatles.
Mm.
So I would just say stick with Pepper and the White Album and skip this one.
All right.
For this type of sound.
All right. This is kind of a nutty song. Not one of my very favorite songs here. A little bit filler musically, but still enjoyable, but more like a 7 instead of a 10. Okay. Now, for 3-4. Okay. This song is okay, but even though there was probably a little bit of the tongue-in-cheek attitude when they did it, it comes across a little more serious than for my liking, and it's perhaps kind of dull for my taste. It's fine as the only song like that here, but I prefer the songs that are purposefully coming across as more wacky. What do you think?
It's a bit long, but a solid emotional type track here. I think it's actually quite good. It's easy to get lost in this one, but in that good kind of way. Not out of boredom, but actual admiration of the overall sounds going on. This band is quite odd, but when they nail it like they do here, they can be quite good. But when they get all out there, not so much for me. But this is a solid track. I think it was written by my homeless guy.
Yeah.
This is almost gospel-y, and I could hear Otis Redding give this one a go, and that's a compliment.
Yeah.
By the way, so.
Right on.
There you go.
All right, what do you think of Funky Tunk?
Oh, come on, man. Why do we have a chipmunk on the track? And someone swallowed some helium and did the chipmunk, which is pretty funny, actually. This song is slightly country sounding. I'm not sure why we needed helium singing, but it's funny, and humor isn't a bad thing. So it's pretty fun for what it is. It's a novelty song.
All right. This is more my speed. I like this a lot. It's playful and still has some of that country edge they were accused of doing too much of later, though the people who said that probably didn't listen to the whole albums that were accused of being country music. But this is really cool and I like it. Okay, now for Rose-Colored Eyes. Okay, this song is a total trip, and even more out there than the usual out there stuff. And it's awesome. A song with a guitar sound that can make me feel dizzy, but in a good way, is not easy to do. And I give this song several thumbs up. What do you think?
Just got back to my notes. We're on Rose-Colored Eyes, right?
Yeah.
I really enjoy the sounds of the guitar here. I'm not sure how they got that type of sound, but it almost sounds like Indian instrumentation
Yeah.
out of it in Poison's song. Very psychedelic. For trying to fit in with sounds of the day, this one actually sounds original versus trying to fit in. It can stand on its own 2 feet, so it's another solid track on this album here.
Right on. What do you think of Miller's Blues?
Wow, okay. I think we found what has to be the best track on this album. Not the next one we're doing by Moby Grape. This one is double shit, but this one. And being that the last track in the LP one is only 52 seconds, I'm sure it won't top this. This is what I was thinking when I heard this. And we'll get into if it did. If a 52-second song can outdo Miller's Blues. This is some badass, and I mean badass blues. I could have used 3 or 4 more of these. They got rid of the odd ones, and we had a total killer album. Fantastic guitar, tremendous vocals, just a hot song right here. Best on LP1 for my money up to this point, and I'm pretty sure I won't change my mind.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
And this was written by the guy who kept using drugs and never got weird. So,
the lead guitar player.
Yeah. And this is one powerhouse of a song and absolutely great. It's explosively good. And for Jerry Miller, it's his time to bring on the heat when most of his songs were more conventional, even though he was and is quite the druggie. But yeah, turn this sucker up, it's hot. And now for the next song,
the last on LP1, will it top Miller's Blues? Go ahead, Lee.
Well, I have to tell you first that the original version was acoustic on their first album and was no longer. And he even said that this song was written about and on tons of acid, and he was very fondly laughing and enjoying when he talked about how he felt like he needed to walk down the street naked. So he decided to write a song about it. Anyway, this is one of the very few songs Jerry Miller wrote by himself. And the story behind the song is more interesting than the song itself. But it's good, and I do like it better than the original version, which is equally as short, but it's acoustic on the first album. I would like to hear a longer version, but I don't think one exists. But still, I dig it as an album closer. What do you think?
Well, with Naked If I Want To, which is the title,
Yeah?
I like this, but no, it's not Miller's Blues, like, good. But just a little song at 52 seconds that was actually good and could have been better. I agree, it should have been longer. And I'm sure it was intended as a clever little afterthought in the album. But if it was me, truthfully, I'd have ended this LP with Miller's Blues and thrown this one in the middle somewhere and maybe got rid of some weirdness. But overall, LP1 has had some good points and some bad. That would be wow. It's not a horrid listen. But now let's get into LP2.
Okay.
Grape Jam, lady.
Yeah, now for album 2, Grape Jam. Okay. What do you think of the first song, Never?
What's hilarious is Zeppelin so ripped this off. There you go, Grapesters. A bigger band ganked you. Zeps, since I've been loving you is solo into this song. The fact that Page didn't give a co-write is fucking horrible. Hell, even some of the guitar tones are similar. Well, credit to Moby Grape, I suppose. I've been all on that one. Is this as good as the Zeppelin song? Not quite, but it's pretty good in its own right. Very atmospheric and moody. I dug this one quite a bit, and shame on you, Page and Plant. Go ahead, Lee.
All right. This is the basis for another song by another group, which you mentioned. But for Moby Grape,
Yeah,
This was,
it's basically the song.
yeah, this was, I think, a Bob Mosley tune, and the only song on the Grape Jam album that Peter Lewis, I think he played on it. I'm not sure. And I think I heard he did come back for some others later, but because I heard Peter got very pissed off with the way things were going and the weirdness of the band members and the excessive drugs and everything, so he walked out and did not return. But since he was on this song, he does receive credit for being on the album. But Bob Mosley wrote it, and it's the only song from what I remember which had a band member credited to writing it, because the other songs didn't have any band members credited. I do like it, and I think it's a good opening track, but it's nothing like the rest of the album, which has its own vibe totally. Okay, now for the next song, Boysenberry Jam. The playing from most everybody, like Bob Mosley and Jerry Miller and Skip Spence, are great. Peter Lewis, I don't think, was there, but Don Stevenson's drumming, I feel, was odd. Like he was doing his thing and the group apparently were grooving behind it, but it made everything sound more awkward than it could have been. I would have preferred a more solid 4/4 beat, but other than the beat, which totally affected the song, the other parts of the song were quite good. What do you think?
Well, oddly, our piano player isn't credited on this one track here. And that's crazy because that is the instrument keeping the jam locked in. We are going to get credited playing on a couple other tracks on this great jam, but not on piano, but not this one. Well, whoever it was, credit to them. This is flat out 2 words. It's fucking awesome. Instrumental rock at its finest. Solid cut here, Lee.
Right on. What do you think? Yeah, what do you think of Black Currant Jam?
Now we know who the piano player is. It's Mr. Al Cooper.
Mm-hmm.
That tickler of the ivories.
Yeah.
Interesting take on some blues here. It has a slight jazzy feel in the beginning. Then it kicks into something more rocking. Al Cooper's piano playing is fantastic. Our lead guitarist, Jerry Miller, is smoking on the guitar for sure. Just another yet solid bluesy jam out instrumental here. I'm digging this second LP so far, through and through, Lee.
Yeah. I put, this song is okay. I think that if Peter Lewis had stayed and contributed to this song, then maybe I had thought Bob Mosley was the lead player, but I'll change it and say, but maybe then Jerry Miller could have soloed more. But as it is, it's one of the better jam sessions on this part of the album. Okay, now for Marmalade. Okay. Sorry. I do like this song, and I think listening to this whole song is better than listening to the whole Led Zeppelin 3 album. But I also think, but I also think it could have been trimmed a little bit. It's good once in a while, and once in a while I will want to hear it, and will hear it, but still only once in a while. What do you think?
Well, it is a 14-minute song, so let's see if it's able to live up to that epic amount of time. Now, one thing that is up to par is Mike Bloomfield's piano playing. He actually outdid Al Cooper a bit on this one, but then I read that more than likely Al Cooper played and maybe Mike Bloomfield was just sitting there and they credited him. I don't know.
It's
I mean,
weird.
He's a guitar player, right?
Yeah.
But official credit goes to Mike Bloomfield here on the piano.
Yeah.
Which is crazy because it's actually better than Black Currant Jam.
Huh.
Well, whoever is playing this, they're playing their ass off. And sure, it's 14 minutes, but this breezes right by with great guitar work that would make Muddy Waters smile, I'm sure. So another great one here. Man, this Grape Jam has been fantastic, Lee, but we got one more song.
Yeah, and this part of the album, the Grape Jam, was the album that the critics thought was their worst album because they said that they were not a jam band. That's what they said.
But you're talking about critics.
Yeah.
Who they know?
Yeah.
They
Anyway,
don't know shit.
yeah.
Right.
What do you think of the last song, "The Lake"?
No, written and sung by a fella named Michael Hayward, who I'm sure you know his whole story. I don't
No.
need to hear it. Don't care.
I don't know it.
All right, good. But one thing is, this doesn't seem to fit in with the bluesy rockers we had on the other tracks. Features some random speaking underneath the vocals. So if you think Revolution 9 is distracting and putrid, get a load of this. I mean, why, oh why, Mighty Grape? You had a perfect album with great jam till you mucked it up with this silliness. It's absolutely putrid. The worst sounds of the 60s music that works my nerve. But the other 3 tracks are really good. It's just upsetting because it just really, damn near ruins it. That's how bad this is.
Okay.
But go out and find this record. It's on YouTube, both of them. I think it's still worth the listen. You just don't worry about the lake.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Lee.
I think that maybe Peter Lewis left because they were starting to do this, and he was like, "Oh, for Pete's sake, I gotta go." Anyway, I do like this, and I find it very interesting and unusual. But what I like about it is how the background sounds to me like a purposeful way to show how background noise can influence or intrude upon the creative process. Because I wrote songs when I had a bunch of noise of people around me, but I got through it anyway. So this is like the audio equivalent of the type of thing I went through. But it's done much cooler than what I went through. So I give it thumbs up.
Well,
yeah.
I give it thumbs down.
Yeah.
Resoundingly. Worst track on the album.
Yeah.
But overall, Moby Grape was worth checking out, so I think you could turn me on to this kind of weird group that has some damn good songs when they stayed in their pocket.
Yeah.
They should have stayed in their pocket a little more. They could have been huge.
Yeah. And you
could have been huge, in my opinion.
Yeah. And you kind of went through the boot camp because this is their weirdest album, and they never did anything quite so weird like this ever again. In fact, some of their albums, there's one which is only jamming like this. And
well, I like them jamming.
Yeah.
I like them. Which I might have shocked you there, huh, Lee? You probably thought I'd get lost in that.
Huh.
You didn't even be into it. That's my favorite part.
I didn't.
Those critics are idiots.
Yeah, I didn't assume one way or the other. But anyway.
Credit to you.
Yeah.
So. But Moby Grape, you know, how would you stack them against Vanilla Fudge?
Oh, I like a couple of Vanilla Fudge's albums quite a lot, but there's a few albums that they did that I thought were a bit too excessive. Like, they did what they wanted to do, but they weren't thinking about what the listener would want. But anyway, yeah.
Well, I mean, before we wrap up, we've done. I mean, yeah, I'm just going to take a really random curveball, throw that out there. Overall, I've enjoyed when we did Paul Revere and the Raiders.
Yeah.
I don't know that I like these guys as much as Paul Revere and the Raiders, but I do like them better than Mascara Soup.
Okay.
So
that is not surprising.
Right there.
That is not surprising. Yeah.
That's a huge ringing endorsement.
Yeah.
Right there. No, well, for you, I mean, maybe not, and maybe mainland Japan, but the rest of us, not so much. But Moby Grape was an interesting listen, and I'm kind of hit and miss on those uber psychedelic groups, which this kind of was, but wasn't that bad. So thank you. I will check this album out again, even though it's hard to find.
Yeah, and I don't know if this is true, But because their first album was so totally not psychedelic in sound, even though they were using massive drugs while they used it, I think they were annoyed at being considered not psychedelic, so I think they purposefully went out to be psychedelic to prove to people, now you see we do use drugs. Nah, 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 nah. So I think that that's possible. Anyway.
Well, whichever. But it was a fun listen. If y'all can find it out there, if you don't know me personally, don't send it to you. It is on YouTube. Just put in Moby Grape, Wow. The tracks are separated, and also all the bonus tracks are on there. We didn't do those because we don't usually do that.
Yeah, I did before make CDs for people of it with the bonus tracks, and one friend of mine who I did that for, it didn't work on his CD players, so he sent back the CD to me, so I have the CD of it. But they did other jamming songs.
Right on.
Anyway, okay. Thank you again, Charles.
Having me back again,
Okay.
Lee, and,
all right. Have a good one.
Bye-bye, everybody.
Okay. Take care, Kate. Bye-bye.